Alright, good morning guys. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back everyone, welcome back. Let me just fire this up here. Let me make sure you guys can hear me all loud and clear. Welcome back everyone. Happy 1st of July people. Happy 1st of July. First trading day of the month. Ready to set some new goals, new trades, new profits, new losses, absolutely everything. July's looking to be a good month. We've got gold having a very big push here. Loud and clear, awesome. Thank you, man. Yeah, welcome back, everyone. If anyone's new here, my name is Aaron Trades. Been trading for about 7 years, mainly focusing on gold futures here in the European session. Excuse me. I'll be live with you guys for at least the next hour and a half. We'll look at some other markets as well. Gold's having a phenomenal move so far this morning in Asia. I took a little break even on some pullback shorts here. Before then, gold continued pushing high, but we'll break that all down as well. But yeah, how was everyone's June? How was everyone's June? Everyone have a profitable June, losing June, learning June? The years are flying by, everyone. The years are the months. I mean, the years as well, but the months are absolutely flying by. It's already halfway through the year, which is crazy. Coming into the summer months for you guys on the other side of the world. Coming to winter months here, but summer months for I assume majority of you guys. The dog is at home chilling. He's just been for a walk. Yeah, nice goal, Brad. Nice. Yeah, gold having a very decent run today, guys. Gold ended up doing exactly what we said yesterday as well, guys. Unfortunately, just came after we jumped off. Learning June, nice. That's always good. Always good. Remember yesterday, guys, we were on stream around here, and we were calling gold to come and have a decent pullback yesterday. Yeah, it did. Unfortunately, yeah, we got short somewhere around here, and we took a small loss. Before then, price ended up coming back to exactly where we wanted. So this is the level where we said yesterday. What's going on, guys? This is the level where we said yesterday for shorts. We were getting short up here in the London session. A lot of guys were asking, why was I going short? And we kind of broke it all down, and you ended up coming down beautifully. There was actually a really nice... Oh, did the futures chart actually re-grab the highs? Wow, it did. That's very interesting. I didn't see that. Futures chart re-grabbed the highs. That would have stopped a lot of people out and then wicked lower. But this was, yeah, we were talking about these lows for retracement lows yesterday in London. Price to have a pullback into these lows before then continuing to either break it and push lower or hold above it and push higher. You ended up holding above a lot of these levels, broke back above 3,300. And then you've been non-stop since. Since 6 p.m. London time yesterday, gold's closed above 3,300. Excuse me, and been a non-stop pushing. Non-stop pushing. So yeah, very, very, very nice push there. Gold's looking very bullish here, guys, which is no surprise after yesterday did close bullish. Remember, guys, it's the first trading day of the month. So not only do you not want to go too crazy, but you also want to have a look at your monthly candle closures, which I know gold pretty much opened and closed in the exact same place with 8 ticks of a body, which is insane. Very, very little volume closure in last month's candle here on gold. But, you know, looking at this monthly time frame, what I am looking for, which is kind of nice to see us doing it, is I'm looking for this month to come up, create a nice top wick, before then potential shorts. And we're opening and coming up for that instant top wick. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me just blow my nose. I'm still blocked up here. 2 seconds. There we go. Yeah, crazy for, yeah, what was a very good month. June was a great month. June was a really, really good month. But the fact that it ended up closing in pretty much the exact same place here on the monthly time frame was pretty surprising. Yeah, gold buy's having a really nice push today. You pretty much have opened though today in Asia. You've opened. You had a nice little you had a little 30-minute fake out here. Look at this. Broke below the support. Broke right back above. And continued squeezing. You were pretty much non-stop since then. I wasn't on it from that low. It would have been great to be a buyer from there. But you just kept rallying. You just kept pushing. Kept squeezing. So in terms of what can we see for the London Open, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So obviously yesterday here, you know, yesterday was a very nice strong bullish closure. You grabbed a lot of lows, you held support, closed very bullish. A very strong end to June with a 700 tick candle, which is very big. So buying today makes the most sense. However, you've pretty much done it in the whole entire Asian session. And now where we're coming back into, let's not do that. Now where we're coming back into is very big daily resistance again. Back at that major daily resistance. Also, weekly resistance and monthly resistance. So 3350 is going to be a very big level. Now, I know you guys are asking, are we selling? Well, look how bullish we are. We're so bullish. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you just, pretty much since like New York yesterday, you've opened and you've just been non-stop. Just non-stop pushing up. So is there any reason to want to trade against that, to be honest? You know, I do believe gold can have a pullback like yesterday. But you need to see some sort of good indication of price finding resistance, because right now you've just been pushing. You've been non-stop pushing. So is it my job to want to call the top here on gold? Personally, not really. I'm not trying to call tops here. If I'm going to get a trade here today, I want to be following this trend. If I want to follow this trend, then I need to buy below some lows. I'm not going to be chasing anything up here on gold. Yeah, Asia. Yeah, I mean, to us, it wasn't even that much in Asia, to be honest. You kind of just opened today and just have been non-stop pushing. I didn't catch any buys in Asia. I didn't really see any opportunity to do so. With it, in terms of a good risk reward, you've just been opening and just non-stop. That's the reason I didn't jump on pre-London today, because there was just nothing for me. I knew there wasn't going to be either. You're just opening and just continuing to squeeze. Now I do like these highs here on gold to continue pushing up into 33.50. This could be a nice upside target. This is about still about 90 ticks away, which is a good range. However, it's going to be tough for me to want to buy gold this high. That's all good, Jamie. All good, man. All good. So yeah, to me, there's no reason to call tops. No reason to call tops and try and jump in shorts. London open in 20 minutes. Yes. Yep. 8 a.m. London time is the official open here. So we're still into pre-London. So sometimes do get some trades before London, but it's looking like we may be waiting for that London open. You are always open to both sides, right? No, it depends on the daily time frame. Like with yesterday closing so bullish, grabbing lows and closing bullish, ideally I want to be buying today. I'm not really looking to trade against that. Like I'm not trying to sell. I'm not trying to short against yesterday's candle. I'm trying to buy following that. So my daily bias is very, very important. But given the fact that my daily bias has already played out, which is longs here, yeah, you know, now there is the potential to be a little bit more neutral. But if you do short against your daily bias, you just have to accept that it is risky. Check out, yeah, we'll have a look at NQ, we'll have a look at copper. We'll have a look at every market here, because to be honest, guys, entering new trades this high on gold is very tough. It's unfortunate that it's, you know, pushed this much in Asia, but again, it's outside of our control. We'll see how we react around this resistance, but to be honest, I wouldn't be too surprised to see gold create a little bit of space before the next trade. And this is the hourly time frame, so that's going to need quite a lot of time. If I try and buy it this high, you know, what's my risk to reward? But if I start buying from here, stops below the 15 into this resistance, I'm talking less than 1-to-1. It's not really worth our time. But yeah, let's have a look at NQ. We need to let the London happen on gold. See if we find some resistance for a potential pullback or not. It looks like it was a pretty choppy day on NQ yesterday as well. I did actually take a small loss on NQ yesterday. I took some sells on NQ. I'll show you guys. I got short around. So what I was looking for yesterday on NQ was price to come down, tap into these lows here, because I was pretty much imagining, you know, anyone buying here would probably be trapped in something like that. So I was looking to short into there. I got short around here on gold. Sorry, I'm too saying gold. Short around here at NQ. Closed it here as the 15 closed bullish. Then it ended up pushing down. Very nice. I could have actually got back in as well. However, I just wasn't watching it and ended up having a very, very, very nice squeeze lower, where you create a massive range, squeeze some lows, and then had a decent pullback. But overall, I would say a pretty choppy NQ session yesterday as well. Let's have a look. So how did the daily end up closing yesterday? Still very bullish. We're very much squeezing that all-time high. Let's adjust some of these levels here. What we got? We got 2900, which has been 22,900, which has been hit some big resistance, very, very big resistance. We got 22,800 there as well. Let's mark that on. And then 22.7. So three big levels here. Three very, very big levels here. So this is the thing when you're at all-time highs. A lot of people, you know, are trying to call tops. Now, it's not to say you can't pull back on NQ, But it's more so to say, you know, what is the smartest trade? For me, it's finding resistance, pulling back, and then continuing to trade breakouts. That's just an, you know, an overall outlook. We do still have this weekly open here, guys. We spoke about this yesterday as well. Let's have a quick look at the monthly close on NQ. I know it's going to be very, very, very bullish. Yeah, look at that on NQ. Huge. I would love to see NQ have a bit of a pullback, but to be honest, this higher time frame is so bullish. So bullish. That's why I was, you know, any guys who are buying long-term stocks, this is why. This is absolutely huge. And I do still think you're going to see some more runs for some new all-time highs. But could we be seeing a pullback before that? Well, let's see. 4 hour here, guys. You broke above this 22,900 resistance. Closed right back below. Massive bearish fake out here. You broke the resistance. You closed straight back below with a huge engulfing candle. So that's a pretty decent amount of selling pressure here in the Asian session. Now, the only thing is, you know, if you do short, where's your targets? Where would you be looking to target? Because you have clearly very big support here. And you have very big resistance right back here. So you're almost you're almost stuck in the middle of the range here. So NQ could get pretty tough today as well, guys. Do we have any news today? Remember, guys, it's a shorter week as well. We do have NFP on Friday as well. NFP on Friday would be interesting. Yeah, gold's taking off. That's what I said. Don't short gold, guys. Gold's not the one to try and call the tops. You kind of have to just let gold do its thing. Gold's pushing. It's been pushing for the whole entire Asian session, and since New York yesterday as well. What do we have? So we do have Jolt's job openings. Let me just change this so I can see it on London times. Let me go here. So today we got the Fed speaking at 2:30 London time, and then we have Jolt's job openings at 3 p.m. London time. And then tomorrow, NEP non-farm employment changes, and then on Thursday, that's the big NFP day again. Oh really? I missed that, Mark. Yeah, I like that, Ian. So yeah, we're in for an interesting week, guys. Remember, it's, you know, month end, 4th of July, NFP week. It's gonna be a funny week. Yes, you do have some news today, but it's not until much later in the session. So NQ here, guys, I'd be very careful. I'd be very careful trading this range. Look how corrective this price action is. It almost, you know, tries to, you know, tease you into jumping in longs. It just creeps lower and lower and lower and lower. So maybe if we come to squeeze this support, you know, you could see a potential bounce from here. But this is not the nicest of price action compared to what we have seen on NQ recently. We've seen much nicer price action than this. Yeah, some of you guys talking about copper. I did see copper did have a very nice push here. We said buys above this level yesterday on copper. You did break above, and then you ended up closing right back below. So if you did buy, you may have got just squeezed out there before now price is coming all the way back up into that liquidity level that we spoke about yesterday. That's a very nice move on copper as well. What time did that start? Pretty early doors as well. Around what Asian session broke out pre-London, 6:30. Huge push. How did yesterday close on copper? Yeah, kind of holding support, holding resistance. We did hit our liquidity level pretty nicely. Not really an opportunity for me have to bought up into that unless I was watching at 6 a.m., which I don't usually do. But nice to see the highs getting grabbed here on copper. You kind of did hold that sort of, not the cleanest, but you did hold that inverse head and shoulders there as well. You break up, come down, massive liquidity grab, break back above, retest it, and continue squeezing higher. So decent squeeze there on copper. But yeah, I wouldn't imagine people shorting this, personally. This is very bullish. Where's your next kind of resistance level? I mean, you are coming in some big areas up here. Look at this. You do still have some major levels up here, which if you see the dotted line, which is where price is right now, right at 5.165, call it 5.17. Very, very big resistance. Yeah, the 4 hours. Yeah, the 4 hours huge on copper. Absolutely huge. And how long does it have to close? I mean, it's still 3 hours to close. But the thing is, quick look at the monthly as well. Monthly broke back above $5, which is huge. So where would be next? What, 5.5? 5.5? How big is that range? Yeah, huge, huge. 10% on copper. Oh, that's massive. So yeah, again, copper having a massive, massive move. I personally wouldn't be even considering shorts on this. Gold is making me money. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. On the 1st of July, gold's making you money. Beautiful. Decent little squeeze here on gold. I'm hoping gold does shape up for us here today, guys. It's, again, it's not at the greatest position right now. We're coming back up into major resistance after being bullish since literally 1 o'clock London time. So since 1 o'clock yesterday, 1 o'clock London time from, it's even 12:30, gold's up 600 ticks. So do we want to be shorting against a 600 tick move? Absolutely not. We want to be following that. But if we can follow it, where's it going to be from? Not this high. The 1 second chart. You guys are getting active this morning. First day I've ever looked at the 1 second chart in my life. Even the 5 second chart. That's crazy. Even the minute chart on gold. I couldn't even trade the minute chart on gold. Yeah, long since the open's been huge. Yeah, if you're long in Asia, you got nice runners and easy targets into 33.50. So if you're long from like down here, you know you're well and truly covered. In terms of taking new positions, I wouldn't be taking new positions here. Although I do believe there's a nice chance, high chance you can grab this high here. At any point, you can still pull back. So the risk to reward is pretty off. But yeah, gold's been on a crazy run, guys. What do we think? Let's make it interesting. How do we think that this month is going to close? Do we think gold's going to come for a very big push down? Or do we think gold's going to break some new all-time highs? Yeah, Asia's been having all the fun recently, yeah. Asia's been having all the fun. Which is surprising considering you get into closer you get to summer months. NFP dump, gold to 3,000. Gold to 3,000. Oh, interesting, Brad. Yeah, hit all-time highs, then dump. Yeah, break 33.50 would be crazy. Yep, I agree. Ask Trump. I'll give him a call after this, man. I'll see what he's got for us. We've got London open in about 5 minutes here, guys. But yeah, to be honest, looking at this monthly time frame, to me, given since where we started the year, January, a pullback would be pretty healthy. Pullback would be healthy, especially if we're going to see stocks continue to rally. If you're going to see stocks continue to have big pushes, then you'd imagine gold's going to have some selling off. People taking their money out of gold, the safe haven, and putting it elsewhere. Although you are still holding that trend line that we spoke about yesterday, and you actually reclosed back above. Where was that trend line we had yesterday? Did we have it here? Or did we have it from... I can't remember exactly where we had it. Somewhere like that. Which is kind of interesting, I don't really trade this way of looking at trend lines, a break and a retest, but that is pretty interesting. You've been in this trend line since April, May, June. You've broken it, and you're coming back up to retest it. So could we find some resistance at the back of this trend line? At monthly and weekly resistance at these levels for a pullback? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. No reason to say so just yet, but as an overall outlook, it's not a bad idea. Or could we maybe even squeeze the highs of the 26th of June before then, having that pullback? You'd imagine if anyone is maybe shorting here, looking at a swing perspective, where would they sit stops? Probably just above that high. So could you potentially squeeze that high before a big short? How much have we retraced of this move? Not even 50%. So 50% sitting right around that high as well, which is interesting. And this was an open on a Sunday and just a crazy sell-off, like a 2,000 tick sell-off. So you got 50% sitting around these highs. So that could be a potential liquidity level above the 26th of June. So there is still room to squeeze gold higher. There is still room. But I'm more so trying to imagine, you know, what can happen for London. Well, if I'm going to be a buy here on gold, let's say if we're going to buy gold up into these highs at 33.64. Well, if we look at this from a really big chart, what do we kind of have here? What can you guys see in here? What does this look like? To me, this looks like a potential major inverse head and shoulders before a big push up. So if I'm going to be a buy here on gold, I would like to be a buy at least back down at 33.26. So is there the potential for gold to have a pullback before we then see that big move? I would imagine so. Like I say, I wouldn't want to be taking new buy positions up here. So we're kind of stuck in the same situation that we had yesterday, which was when we were right around here. Is that we need that higher time frame to show us resistance is being formed before you then got the short. So if you waited yesterday for that 8 AM candle to actually close, showing you resistance is being formed, then you get the pullback. So you reject, you liquidate the highs, and then you pull back. So here you reject. Could you be liquidating the highs here pre-London and then pull back? Maybe. Even, you know, in the London session, for price to come and maybe test some of this breakout level at 33.25. And that's still a very decent pullback. You know, that's a 150 plus tick pullback. I wouldn't be holding that long here in the London session. Even back down into these levels. What would that be for a pullback on gold? It's about a 100 tick move. That's a very, very decent retracement. Hey Aaron, hey man, is it true that NQ and gold usually move opposite to each other? Like when NQ dumps, gold tends to pump? Yeah, on a high time frame perspective. You have the risk on, risk off. If people are taking their money out of stocks for uncertainty reasons, such as the war news that we have seen recently, therefore they'll put it into gold. Because gold's the safe haven, so gold goes up, NQ goes down. So if we take a look at the two here, side by side, how do I think I can change this to the not. If I go, will this work? I think it's going to change all of them. Yeah, it's going to change all of them. How do I do it so... I don't have to turn the link off. Yeah, turn off the white collar. I know, I couldn't... There you go. So if we look here, if we go on the as a higher time frame perspective, let's clear off everything for a second. So if we look at the daily here, let's go to the daily here on gold, daily here in NQ. So if we look at it from February, where are we? Where's February? February around here. NQ had a huge sell-off. Gold had a massive rally. So yeah, in terms of higher time frame outlook, yeah, they do move pretty opposite. Intraday trading, people do see some correlation. I do sometimes, but not enough to take trades off. Like intraday, some people see gold going up and trying to they see gold going up and then they try and short NQ. But to be honest, intraday trading it doesn't have as much effect as a high time frame outlook. But yeah, on a high time frame outlook, yeah, you typically see them move inversely. Yeah, we got the London Open here, guys. London Open. Let's have a look at this hourly closure here on gold. Where's my analysis gone? Here, cool. So hourly still closed bullish here. Couldn't quite close above the previous hourly high, which is interesting. It's a first sign of resistance. We kind of grab lows, close bullish. If we want some sells on gold, I'd have to see a very decent fake out. It's hard for me to. I think you can actually do it in here as well. You can actually compare the two like this. Then you can change this to what? Candles? It just kind of gets a bit confusing. But yeah, you can actually compare the two like this. I find it easy to look at side by side, but yeah. And as you saw here. Where are we? Gold had a huge move up. NQ, huge sell-off. Here. Look at this. Even though here though, look at this. They both did have a big sell-off here. Look at that, we're getting with the tools now. So yeah, Audi still did close bullish here at London Open here, guys. If I want to sell, which is kind of tough for me to want to sell, I would need to see a very strong breakout. A very, very, very strong breakout. And if I want to buy, I need to see a pullback anyway. I'm not going to be buying gold this high. I'm also not going to be selling this high either. Kind of similar to NQ all-time highs. That was a mega short. That was a mega short. Yeah, mega, mega short. There's also mega long-term buys as well. Mega profits with Aaron. There's a good opportunity on silver. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, silver holding massive support here. Grabbed a lot of lows yesterday, closed bullish. Today's opening and having a very nice squeeze like gold as well. Came down, grabbed lows, closed bullish. Silver having a bit of a pullback. Back up into these areas would be interesting here. Grab the lows, closed bullish. Yeah, that's a pretty decent breakout there on silver. Silver looks nicer than gold, to be honest. Not that I trade silver, but that does look nicer than gold. So could you be seeing silver continue to squeeze a little bit higher into these levels? Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Yeah, silver, sorry, it's not silver. Copper ended up closing very bullish there, guys. Very, very bullish. Everything having everything having a lot of moves in the Asian session. How long did it take you to pass the 150? 2 weeks maybe, I believe. Where is it? I don't know if I can remember. I got it somewhere. I believe it was about 2 weeks. Passed it back in what, May time? Shouldn't be it shouldn't be a goal to rush them and just try and pass them as quick as you can. Your goal should be to prove consistency to yourself. Once you have proven consistency, then maybe you can afford to take bigger risk when you get more accounts. Yeah, Goldie's still squeezing here, guys. You did kind of grab lows and close bullish here. But if I buy from here, like I say, my stops are going to be pretty large. And it's kind of risky. Risky because you have been so bullish. Anything else you guys are looking at, feel free to send it over. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, man. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. Send it over, guys. It doesn't have to just be gold. I imagine ES is probably looking a bit rangy as well after yesterday's price action. Remember, guys, it is going to be a little bit of a funny week this week. We do still have that opening, weekly opening level on ES as well. Where's the Topstep daily levels? Let's have a look. I can never seem to get them on. I think where is it? How do I get the Topstep lines on here? Sometimes they don't go on my charts properly. But yeah, this weekly open on NQ and ES is still untouched. Yeah, NQ having a little bit of a squeeze here. Had that Audi close pre-London. Oh, you have to refresh. Ah, nice, Bobby. Thank you, thank you. So let's see. Where do we have? So what do we have? So let's do. Don't want to see yesterday's high. That could be interesting. Yesterday's low. Weekly kickoff low. Yesterday's low. Can you hide the tags? Yeah, nice. Oh, then you won't know what they are. I'll play around with that after. So, I mean, potential morning star play here on NQ, looking nicer than gold. You came down, grabbed lows, held support. Nice little bounce here. But the only thing is, you know, where's your, you know, you can get chopped up here. I know this is a nice initial bounce, but you're right back into resistance. Natural gas. Let's have a look. I don't think I've ever really looked at natural gas. Wow, big sell-off here. When was this? This is the last time we looked at natural gas. Let's do some analysis. Do any of you guys actually trade this consistently? I've never looked at natural gas. Not in a long time. So you closed very bullish here. Closed right back below yesterday. So that's a pretty decent bearish fake out there. With last week closing bearish right at the support. Instant push down here. Hi Aaron, great to be a part of the Traders Club community. Thank you. People take your advice seriously. Can save a lot of time in their trading journey. Wish I joined the community earlier. Goldie Expert, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. And absolutely, if you just tune in every day for the, you know, even the time that, even if you don't take a trade, there's still, you know, a lot of value to learn here. Just break down any charts is can be very helpful. But appreciate you being a part of it. I'll take a look at your question in a second, Brad. So yeah, daily fake out on natural gas, closing back bearish, breaking massive support at like 3.5. So where would be your next area here? Like I said, I don't trade this. Decent breakout level. Where's that? Right down at what? 3.4, 3.35 maybe. 4 hourly time frame here. You do have some nice lows sitting down here as well, which if it does grab previous highs and lows, like similar to what gold does, that could be a pretty interesting target. Let's have a look here. Nice fake out there. I would say if you could maybe tap into previous hourly highs that has no top wick, that would be a potential sell. I would say if you can come up, squeeze these highs, that could be an interesting short. Time frame normally looking at on NQ. Yeah, same as gold, to be honest, same as gold. But to be honest, I wouldn't watch it. I would focus on just gold. You don't want to confuse yourself, unless you know, like, for you guys who are getting, you know, consistent payouts and are extremely comfortable with gold, then you know you can start looking at other markets. But I wouldn't worry too much. It does. NQ does have similar concepts to gold, but for intraday trading, it moves in its own way, completely different ways. So if you try and trade both, you will you end up confused yourself. But I do, yeah, literally just the exact same. Break down every chart the exact same way. Top-down analysis on, doesn't matter what the instrument is. You break it down the same way. Yeah, stay in the lane. Yeah, focus on gold, bad. Yeah, gold's more than enough. More than enough. Yeah, it's nice little bounce there. Gold still squeezing previous hourly highs here, guys. Anyone short in here getting potentially getting squeezed out. To me, there's no sells on gold just yet. An hourly rejection isn't enough to trade against a 600 tick move up. So don't get too eager and too focused on trying to call tops here, guys. If you're gonna see a rejection, you'd at least come up and do what we did yesterday. What did we do? What did we do yesterday before this whole push down? Came up, re-grabbed the previous highs, held resistance, and then sold off. So you've rejected. Looks like you're probably going to re-grab these highs and then potentially sell off. Let's have a look. Very strong as well. Very, very strong. Let's get rid of this. Let's have a quick look. Higher time frame. I mean, we've been very bullish. Since we were back at the start of the year support here. Closed bullish in May. And it's been pretty much non-stop since. So I would say your next area of interest would be up here. So if we have a look at the daily time frame here as well. What did we do yesterday? Yesterday closed back bullish again. So you're kind of consistently breaking out here. But again, you look at today's candles, like we've almost done so much price action like we've kind of seen it on gold. Like this looks like, you know, the day's already done. It's like we're not even into the, we're just about into the London session. 4-hour time frame here. Let's have a look. Very bullish. So again, it's kind of similar to gold. In terms of taking new trades, I would be very skeptical of trying to trade this high. I would look for pullbacks before continuing to buy into this this next big resistance level around the highs of the 2nd of May. If I was going to be a buyer here, you know, I'd want to be a buyer, you know, somewhere back down at these regions. Up here, unless you're already in longs, you know, you'd be buying from down here or buying below these lows. Up here, I wouldn't want to be a buyer. I also wouldn't want to be a seller. It's very similar to, pretty much identical to gold right now, where it's in a little bit of a tough spot. Because it's already had such a nice move in Asia. Same as gold, such a nice move in Asia. And now you can almost, you know, sometimes the worst trades are where you kind of find yourself getting caught in a trade right after a really big push. That's when a lot of the losses come in. That's when the emotions come in. That's when the tilt comes in, because, you know, you end up getting stuck in trades that you know you really shouldn't be in. So it's kind of the same as gold right now. If you get stuck in a trade up here and price just ranges and you get trapped, you know, that can send you on tilt, because you know you shouldn't really be trading when it's already pushed this much. Gold's still squeezing here, guys. Looking like we're going to come straight for these highs. 50-minute grabbed highs rejected, straight back higher. That's why London Open comes in flows, guys. London Opens comes in flows. Sometimes, you know, pre-London's really active. Gold has a huge move. Sometimes pre-London can be quiet. London Open's good. It has its times where it, you know, goes through stages. No, I don't trade options. I do trade stocks though. I do trade stocks. Look at this, gold still squeezing. Let's have a look. The yen probably, yeah, yen squeezing higher as well, which means the euro is probably getting weaker. Not too much. Not too much. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely, Brad. Yep. Being this side of the world has a huge advantage. We can get every market. Yeah, that's it, man. Absolutely. So this is we looked at the yen a while ago. I can't remember when we last looked at the yen, but I like the yen to continue squeezing up into the highs of the 13th of June, because you have a huge trend line coming down here, which you're trying to break. You've broken out of it, you've held it, and you're squeezing higher. So as a higher time frame outlook, I think the yen gaining some strength looks good. In terms of intraday, came down, grabbed the hourly lows, held the support, and you're squeezing. The yen looks good for longs here. Probably here. You've already squeezed lows, you're already breaking higher. The next level above this resistance, where would you be targeting? Here. These highs here. Which you're almost there. That's a very, very nice bounce there in the yen. Right before the London Open as well. Came down, grabbed lows, held support. Huge squeeze there. Very, very nice squeeze. Let's have a look at the euro as well. Euro looks like it's potentially shaping up for some longs. There we go. It's the first trading day of the month as well, guys. So Doji daily currently right now, however, you did close it very bullish. Now, quick look at the monthly closure on the euro, very strong, closing back above massive resistance from back in 2022. That's huge. That is huge. That is an insane breakout on the euro. That's with the US dollar getting extremely weak. US dollar's been on a probably one of the worst drops I may have ever seen. If I just show you guys this here for a second, this is the old analysis on the US dollar chart. Let me just see if I can share this. Here. So this is the US dollar index just on a much higher time frame outlook, we've just been having the craziest sell-off since pretty much the whole entire year. Since January came up, tagged some major highs at 107.5, even 109. Huge sell-off. And you also just had a huge bearish closure in June as well. You just opened, not even a real retest, straight pushing down. So, man, the US dollar, it's going to be interesting to see if the US dollar is going to find some support or if it's just going to continue selling off. So if we take that back to what we were looking at the euro, you know, here, the inverse of the US dollar. So this is how the US dollar was just looking. Well, that's how the euro is looking. You had a massive breakout here, broke the support, broke right back above, and you've been non-stop. Yeah, gold tagging highs, yep. Nothing to do up there anyway. So the euro, very, very strong monthly closure. So today I would want to be following that. So there's the potential for a euro trade here. You're grabbing the lows and you're holding support. If the euro holds this, you know, yesterday's high looks like a pretty easy target. Sorry, it's a high of Asia. You got Asia highs up here. So here in 12 minutes, I'd want to see at least 12 minutes. If you grab these lows and close bullish, there's the potential for the euro to come down for a bottom wick and then to come up and squeeze these highs. Probably looking nicer than gold. Yeah, gold tagging our highs here as well, guys. Anyone who was selling here, getting squeezed out. Unfortunately, no bias for me up here. But you are squeezing out any sellers. Gold's on a crazy push, you guys. Crazy, crazy. First trading day of the month here. I'm also wondering if a lot of this is fueled by a lot of profit taking. A lot of profit taken on some big gold shorts yesterday, which, given it's the last day of the month and at massive major levels, makes sense. So a lot of profit taken of the longs could mean there's more room for buyers to step in and squeeze gold high, which is what we've seen, because there's no real catalyst here to see this big of a move here before London's even started. Let's have a look, man. Let me have a look. Can't get your chart up here. Let me get up my other screen. Copy link. Nice, man. Nice, nice, nice. Might pull back right about. Yeah, maybe this is my final. This would be my final level. If I was buying gold, I would be taking off majority of my position here. So could this be the last level that gives gold the pullback? Maybe. I don't really want to think like that. It's so easy to sometimes think, oh, it's going to pull back, it's going to pull back, and then you just keep pushing. But yeah, it's tough. Like if you guys are wondering, well, if you're not jumping in longs, if you're not jumping in sells, then why not keep buying? It's also just because I wouldn't be a buyer up here. Because being a buyer up here, there is a lot of risk that this can pull back against me at any point. And if I try and be a buyer up here, there's nowhere to really judge my stop. Like you could easily, pull back down to these areas and longs would still be valid. So it's a tough one here on gold, guys. Same as gold yesterday. When we jumped on gold yesterday, you'd already had a huge push here in Asia. Well, same again, but since New York, this has just been a non-stop huge recovery here. Which if we look back to, a lot of the price action, how often do we just see a straight rip? Not very often. That's why it's hard to kind of chase this. Because the way that gold typically moves, you have these nice pushes up, then you have steep pullbacks. That's how gold moves. Whereas today, this week, grab lows, held support 32.50. This is what, almost 1,000 tick range already? Yeah, 1,000 tick range. in the first day and a half of trading is huge. Huge. So and I've got to the first 30 minutes coming up here in about 9 minutes as well, guys. 9 minutes. AQ. Again here, guys, this must say I don't want to be a buy here in NQ because you're right into resistance. Be careful trading here in NQ, guys. You can get chopped up, and it's not what you want to do. And the reason I wouldn't be buying this is because you got resistance here and you got support here. Don't think too much in these ranges. You know, you can do as much analysis as you want. You can do all the different technicals, all the different indicators. The reality is NQ is stuck in a very tough range. And these are the ranges where most people get chopped up and give back all their gains. Remember, it's the first trading day of the month. You don't want to ruin July by forcing trades on NQ in this month, in this range. We have plenty and plenty of opportunities coming this month. If we do grab these highs and break lower, there's potential for a pullback. I think ES looks much nicer, to be honest. There won't be shorting gold. Another high time. Yeah, it's bullish. It's bullish. I also wouldn't be buying this high either. We've got our liquidity levels here. Definitely not shorting gold, but also not buying it. Yeah, since yeah. Silver's been very good to me. Interesting. I've never really traded silver, to be honest. I've maybe swing traded silver. God, a good while ago. But to be honest, that looks beautiful. Look at that. Nice morning star play there. Right at 7:30. Squeezing. Really, really nice. Yeah, silver long on the higher time frame looks great. It looks very nice. That's a huge breakout of 36. Nah, I don't trade EU. Nah, I don't trade EU. I trade gold. I'm gonna start trading something else just because gold's not good anything. We'll watch it, but no, I'm not gonna trade this now. I haven't traded gold I haven't traded euro to get any of the payouts, any of the funded accounts. So personally, I'm not gonna start trading it now. I'll watch it and see how it plays out. But that's something you don't want to do. You don't just want to start trading random instruments just because gold's not giving you anything. You're almost trying to feed an addiction. Feed an addiction as opposed to just doing what works. For me, what works is trading gold. Does it have to give setups every day at the 1 hour that we trade London Open? Not always. It's great when it does, but it doesn't always have to. Copper tanking, really? Oh, really? Let's see. If it's just a little pullback, and you use the word tanking, I'm not going to be happy about tanking. I don't know about that. Is it tanking, or is it just having a little bit of a breather? This is having a little bit of breather. I mean, it could pull back a little bit. I wouldn't say it's tanking, though. Trend line squeeze. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. This is one I have never actually traded. A huge recovery in April, very similar to NQ. Massive recovery. What's this? 30%. Wow. Yeah, maybe on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, maybe. I was getting excited. I thought we were getting some volume. I thought you were having a big move. I was gonna get ready. Decent sell-off here, though. Decent sell-off. How did last week close? Here you go. Huge resistance. Look at this. Huge resistance. Now, where would you be selling into? I mean, it looks like this could be free for all the way back down to here. Like, this could just keep going. There's nothing to stop this coming all the way back down to what, 39.6. Could easily keep going. Yeah, mega shorts. Yeah, mega shorts. Yeah, I thought you got excited for. I thought we were getting excited for some mega shorts on copper. We're getting some out of the norm volume. We can start getting some mega shorts. But yeah, I would say continued selling would make the most sense. As it is a huge push. Again, all the fun's happened in the Asian session today. It started since 1 a.m. London time. Broke down, pulled back, continued squeezing. So you'd want to see something like this. If you're going to enter in new shorts, you'd have to see something like this. You pull back and then keep selling. Pull back and keep selling. RTY, yep, we can have a look at the Russell. Micro Bitcoin, yeah, definitely. We have a look at Bitcoin, absolutely. If you're wondering why I'm not watching gold here, guys, gold's still just pushing here. If I'm going to see some sells from this liquidity level, I need to see a decent breakout. It's bullish on every time frame. Every time frame is bullish, so you'd have to see at least hourly, if not higher, to want to short gold. You know, you look at this on gold, and if we look at this, you know, what could possibly make us want to sell gold right now? What has been the trend since Sunday open? Not only has it been bullish, but it's been very, very bullish. So if you were going to short gold, you would need to see like a very big, like a massive, a lot of selling pressure coming in on gold to want to even consider gold. Gold's bullish. Sometimes you just have to, you know, just accept it and see what it is. And, you know, sometimes even just write on your charts. Like, I'm sure there's probably an indicator for it, but you can probably get an indicator that tells you daily, 4 hourly, and hourly bullish. Or you could even write it here. You can go like daily, bullish, 4 hour, bullish, hourly, bullish. So at least if you've got this, you know, right here, right in your face, at least then, you know, when you're looking at the 5 minute, for example, you're not like, oh, is this the time? Is this going to be the big short? Well, no, because the daily's bullish, the 4 hourly's bullish, and the hourly's bullish. So you would need at least one of them to go from being bullish to bearish. So I wouldn't even be considering shorts on gold, to be honest, guys. It would have been great to have been in these longs, but the buys happened, you know, much earlier in the day. So you just have to accept it. Now the Russell, has the Russell been on a nice recovery like a NQ? Trying to. What's Russell off the highs? 17%. What's this from the lows? Wow, that was a big buy. 26%, very nice. Quick look at the monthly, given that we have had the monthly closure. Very nice kind of morning star here, not the cleanest. Where do we tap into? Right into the lows of the support. Liquidate the lows of the support, huge rejection. So Russell, higher time frame, very bullish. So monthly's bullish. Weekly is nice and bullish. Longs could be nice here in the Russell. Daily, trying to have a pullback, but what have we not done? We've not quite tapped into the highs of the range here. Where would you be looking to get long? Below some daily lows? That's pretty much where we are now. Out of everything I've looked at so far, this is looking the most interesting. Not that I trade the Russell, but out of everything, this is looking the most interesting. Why? Because every time frame is bullish and we haven't yet squeezed the liquidity, so there is still room for the Russell to come all the way back up into 2210. 2210 here on the Russell. Now 4 hourly closed bullish, broke back bearish. Coming in some big support here. Huge fake out here on the 27th of June. Kind of look how corrective this price action is. Like very, very corrective. To me, this could get retraced in one candle. So big trend line coming down here. Now, if I wanted to buy the Russell, remember guys, it's NFP this week as well. It's NFP 4th of July. There's a lot going on this week. It's not going to be an easy week, guys. I kind of knew that would be the case before I even jumped on this week. So I would say on the Russell, if you can close, let me just zoom in a little bit here. It's not the cleanest, but if you can close back above this resistance at, let's say, 21.89, to me, the Russell looks good for longs. And that's on doesn't have to happen right now, or doesn't have to happen today. You kind of also see here as well, this is inverse head and shoulders. I like to be honest, out of everything I've looked at this morning, the Russell looks the nicest for longs. Gold is absolutely ripping it, guys. In order for a buy on gold, a huge pullback with a good risk reward. There's no literally. That's the thing with gold. Like you're saying, if I wouldn't sell it, then well, why not buy it? Where? I'm not buying gold at daily resistance at 33.50. If you're buying gold, you're buying gold down here yesterday, or you're buying gold here. You're not taking new buys up here. So if I was going to buy gold, you'd have to see a massive pullback before then buying. Sometimes it becomes so. Don't be too focused on what's happening on the 5 minute. The high time frame paints the picture. The lower time frame is just for execution. The high time frame has just been very bullish. So the buys are from down here yesterday in New York session, or here in Asia. Up here, there's no personally no new buys for me. Quality over quantity. You're not going to get a quality setup trading gold at 33.50 and major daily resistance. You might get lucky. You're not going to get quality. Yeah, micro Bitcoin. Let's have a look. So yeah, Russell looks good. Russell looks good for longs. Yeah, the 4 hour on gold is crazy. It's been like this since literally since New York yesterday. You had a beautiful morning star here. Look at this beautiful morning star. Like that's your buys. You buy down here. If you're going to be taking more buys on gold, it's maybe back down at these levels. But we haven't seen this strong of a push since, where was this? Maybe back at the start of June. Oh, look at that. 1st of June, 1st of July, 1st of June, 1st of July, 1st of the month. Crazy moves to start the month. But yeah. Sometimes, it can be frustrating because, you want to take a trade and, you want to make money, but remember guys, not trading is also trading. You have to ask yourself, just try and see the charts from that neutral perspective. Is there any reason why I would get a good quality setup with gold being at daily resistance after being literally today in Asia we've opened and ripped up like 300 ticks? Unfortunately not. So therefore you just have to go, that's fine. Have to accept it. Not every day is a trading day. If your job is to try and trade every single trading possible day of July, I can almost guarantee you're not going to make money in July. The way you're going to consistently make money in trading is by not having the need to be in a position 24/7. Not only is it not good for your P&L, it's also not good for your stress. And trading can be very stressful. Micro Bitcoin here. Let's have a look. What do we do? Weekly is very strong here. Weekly at a massive bounce of 100,000. Big closure back above 105. Yeah, that's very true, man. Everyone can win. Trading is about who can lose the best. Absolutely. If you've had a great month in June, which we have had a great month in June, don't give it all back on the first day of the month, and don't ruin. July could be a fantastic month for us. It doesn't have to be, but it could be a great month for us. Do we want to ruin it when gold's already pushed 600 ticks on the first day of the month, on 4th of July week and NFP week? Not really. It's not to say we can't take trades this week. I'm absolutely still looking for trades this week, but it's more so we want to be more selective with our setups. Some weeks on gold, or whatever market, you might get 5+ trades. Some weeks you might only get 1 or 2. What dictates how many positions you get isn't depending on how many you want to force. It's dependent on how many the markets give you. Well, a week like this week, it's probably not going to give me that many realistically. But guess what? Next week I could get 5+ trades, or tomorrow I could get 3+ setups. You take what the market gives you, not what you expect the market to give you. Yeah, Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's looking very, very strong here. Let's have a look at the monthly, quick look at the monthly close. I don't look at the monthly very often, guys, but when you have just had the monthly close, it's good to have a quick look. So you had a massive breakout in April, huge continuation in May, and June starting to slow down, which makes sense. You've had 2 back-to-back huge months. I would say though, squeezing these all-time highs, tapping into 115 is pretty logical overall. What are we doing here? So you kind of came up, we squeezed these highs yesterday. I'd like a bit of a pullback into 105 on Bitcoin. And now it's actually on it's on Thursday, Sean. NFP is on Thursday this week. Yeah, I'll let you know, Liddy. I'll let you know. I know exactly when it's going to be. I'll let you know the time as well, and how much size to use, and then if it's a win or not. No, yeah, NFP's on Thursday this week. So we've got NFP on Thursday and no trading on Friday. So it's not an easy week, guys. Not an easy week. I know it can be frustrating. We want to get excited. We want to take trades, but sometimes that's trading. And to be good at trading, we need to know when to trade and when not to trade. The best the biggest thing that we took away from the trading retreats is it's not about filtering more good trades. It's about filtering out less bad trades. That's the real goal here. We're trying to filter out less of the crap trades that we know we should be taking. Everyone's good at identifying the winning trades, but it's about identifying the trades that we shouldn't be in. But no, I won't be trading 4th of July, man. No, I won't be trading 4th of July. I would assume futures is fully closed on Friday, and maybe even half. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, good man. Yeah, Bitcoin to me looks good for a pullback into 105 before then seeing some longs up into 115. I've never day traded crypto, so I'm not really too sure how it moves intraday. But to me, a pullback to continue selling could be quite nice. Where could you pull back into before selling? I know it does liquidate lows like gold does. So you can have some nice lows sitting down here. Yeah, let the markets come to you. Exactly, man. Just got to relax, you know. Trading's not stressful. It's just, I mean, it is, but to make it less stressful, we just have to sometimes, you know, let the markets come to us. Gold's having a little bit of a squeeze lower here. Yeah, just we got to relax. The markets will come to us. I'd say Bitcoin for a bit of a pullback then to continue selling off here. Gold's starting to find some resistance here, which is nice, guys. The first sign of resistance that we have seen so far this morning. Where are we finding resistance? Right at these highs, right at 33.50. So the only way we can sell this, guys, is if this hourly leaves this big of a rejection, closing below this resistance, and then 9 a.m. you're going to get some great sales. You'd have to see, very similar to yesterday, we had to see the 8 a.m. candle close to be able to short 9 a.m. So 8 a.m. candle came up, grabbed the highs, held resistance, you short 9 a.m. It may be a similar situation today. It may be a similar situation. Yeah, let's have a look. That's my biggest problem, knowing which days to sit on my hand. I mean, that's the game, Nick. You're not the only one, man. That's the hard part of trading. Like I say, I think everyone's so focused on, I need to identify more winning trades, but it's usually the complete opposite. You need to be able to identify the trades that keep making you lose. And the most part, for most people anyway, or for my own self, the days where I know I shouldn't be trading are the days where I usually have the worst trades. It's always the days where you're like, you end up taking a trade, you force a position on a day that you know you shouldn't have been trading. And they're the days that can also send you on tilt. If you know you shouldn't be trading, but you jump in a trade just to get the itch, and then you get stopped out, that's the days where the serious tilt comes. That's where you'll go, down the whole spiral of mentally blowing up and, letting a small loss or what should have been a no trading day turn into a massive loser. Yeah, natural gas here, still squeezing the lows here. This is what we were saying here. I don't trade this very often, but we're saying to come down and squeeze these lows, tap into this support. In terms of any new trades, though, to enter at this 8 a.m. candle, I don't really see too much. But it is squeezing down into our liquidity level, which is nice. NQ kind of chopping around in the range, guys. You have come up, grab the highs. If you can break out, I do think ES could shape up a little bit nicer for a short. That's a pretty decent liquidity grab, holding that VWAP and rejecting. Now, how low you can go, we'll start singing there. Well, you're gonna have to see, like, you got here, maybe back down into like 62.37 would be the next big barrier. I do like this weekly open, but this would be a big level to break first. So if I was getting short here, which it doesn't look too bad, I don't trade, ES or NQ in the London session, but if I was looking at this, you'd be shorting stops around here, seeing if you can squeeze this lower, but you'd be managing here. As soon as you hit this level, I'd be looking to reduce my risk. But you're seeing if you can break this and squeeze. Whether we're going to squeeze that low in London, I wouldn't imagine so. But the second you hit this resistance, you need to be managing a trade. So you're just about squeezing a one-to-one. So just whether or not you think that is worth it. Oil's dropping. We haven't looked at oil. Did we miss out on oil? Oh wow, yeah, oil is dropping. Oh, look at this, guys. So this is what we spoke about yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. We spoke about this inverse head and shoulders. What did we say yesterday, if you guys who were on stream? we said for oil to come up and tap into where? These highs here. Before then, breaking all the way back down into the next liquidity level at 64s. So oil is pretty much following exactly what we said here, guys. You guys remember yesterday? Longs off the inverse head and shoulders. Where? Up into this liquidity level. Above this liquidity level, there's the potential for oil to come all the way back down into 64. So if you get a decent closure here in oil, you got some nice shorts here. Oil having a bit of a dip down here. Gold starting to see some volume as well, guys. 15-minute closure coming in here on gold in 3 minutes. First sign of volume that we have seen so far this morning. That was a lovely, lovely call on oil there yesterday. Don't know if anyone did trade. That was a lovely call. Copper seems to be in a slow motion pattern. I mean, copper's kind of similar to gold, where you've already had a huge move here pre-London. You know, here, like this is a massive move. So, copper, you're going to hold this and break higher, or you're going to close back below and continue to range? I would be skeptical of copper ranging. I think I'm going to get short. Gold could be the one here, guys. So we hit our liquidity level. We're holding this 33.50 level and instantly selling off. You know, the first bearish 15-minute closure coming in here. Grabbing highs, closing bearish. If we get a top wick, could we sell it? Yeah, we could. We could. Let's see how this 15 minutes going to close here, guys. This is a nice bearish push. This is what I want to see. Although I think, you know, we can pull back from these highs. What I think and what I'm going to happen are two very different things. I will only react off what I think once the markets show me that what I'm thinking is correct. And that would have to be a decent 30-minute bearish closure. Not like this, an actual bearish closure. So you don't want to see it grab these lows and reject, because that could be a liquidity grab to continue to range. What was looking the nicest here? I don't know if you guys, any guys who trade the New York session, the Russell could shape up here for you guys who trade New York. Russell longs could be really nice. Very, very nice. Oh, did the let's see, did the euro end up squeezing? Let's have a look here, guys. Did the euro squeeze? Let's have a look. How did the 30-minute close? Still looking good though. Here, grab the lows, close bullish. You do have resistance right here. Yeah. Yeah, he did, Quinn. He's buying some serious shares in Discord. Yeah, he bought loads of shares. Yeah, the euro still could be nice though. The euro, if you break these highs, there is a very nice range here. Again, you just need volume. But I'd say if you can actually, if you can actually break here on the euro, break and hold these highs here, there's a pretty decent risk to reward. What's the pound been up to? Let's have a look at the pound. Kind of similar to what the pound's doing. Grab those, closing bullish. Pound continue buying into 1.378. Looks pretty nice here. You've had a decent liquidity grab and a breakout. How big is that range? 16 ticks. So 15-minute close there on gold, guys. Not really closing what we want to. Again, it's not enough for me to want to start buying more. Yeah, huge movement on commodities. Yeah, gold. I was hoping gold give us a bit of a better closure than that. I think honestly, gold. Honestly, gold. I just called you guys gold. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Honestly, guys, if you're gonna get some shorts on gold, you just have to wait for that hourly closure, because you need to see how this hourly is gonna close. Are we gonna break this previous high, or are we gonna wick all the way back down? Thanks. You're very experienced, Aaron. Thank you, man. You're right about yes. You guys are former buys. Good. Yep. Yeah, so you got 62.55. 62.55. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yep. That's the thing. You could, you know, any pullbacks on ES and same as NQ, they could be very short-lived before you get more buying. I would be looking for a full-blown reversal personally. You do meditation every day to get this level of patience, or time the markets. Yeah, honestly, just time the markets. It's very easy to see when there's going to be an opportunity or not. It's just kind of seeing the same things happen on gold time and time again to know if there's going to be an opportunity here. And it's just kind of like, yeah, like if you ever jump on the charts, like, you know, you guys when we're not on stream together, if you ever jump on the charts and gold has been pushing up, you know, 600 plus ticks, you know, it's just not how gold moves that you're going to keep ripping up or keep ripping down. At any point after this big of a move, you know, you're going to need to create space before then potentially pulling back before then going higher. So yeah, it's just patience comes from knowing that the markets don't actually move as fast as we think, you know, unless you're trading NASDAQ 1 minute on the New York Open. But other than that, gold doesn't move, you know, or any market line doesn't move as quick as people think. People think, you know, if I'm not in now, I'm going to miss the move. I know I need to be in here. But it's like, it's never actually the case. You need to wait for the candles to close and then you short out of it. You let the candles confirm. So for instance, yesterday, you wait for this candle to grab the highs and close holding resistance and then you short. This is your confirmation. This is your short. Same as the buys, you know, you buy once it closes above, then you get your trade. You grab the lows and close bullish, then you get your buys. Whereas people see this move and be like, oh, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. It's like, no, that's your confirmation. So in order for us to short gold for a pullback, you need to see some strong confirmation. Yeah, 100% sure. 100%. Hit the like, guys. Yeah, absolutely, guys. On YouTube, smash like for the Topstep stream. There's no trades to be, unfortunately, this high here on gold. Asia has had all the fun today. But still sharing lots of value with you guys. Still good to jump on as well. Zoom, guys, give me 2 seconds. So yeah, YouTube, guys, we've been on for about an hour and a half here. Unfortunately, guys, there's nothing shaping up for me on gold today. Like I said, you guys, you know, it's going to be a funny week. We can still get trades this week. But like I say, London comes in flows. Sometimes Asia will be good. London Open might be quiet. You're more likely to get trades around 10 a.m. If Asia's quiet, London Open can be great. But the fun happened here in Asia today. Therefore, the London Open is bound to be quieter. And you're more likely to get potential trades on gold. I would say closer to like 9:30 to 10 a.m.-ish. If London Open is active, then 10 a.m. onwards on gold can be quiet. But because it has been very active in Asia, London Open is a little bit quiet here, guys. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. Liquidity levels got hit very well. Unfortunately, there's new buys. There was no new buys this high. Hope you guys did still take value from today's stream. I'll be tuning into the Topstep fast markets today, guys. So if you are there, I'll see you guys in the chat. If not, I'll see you guys same time here again tomorrow. Trade safe, guys. It's the first trading day of the month. We got NFP 4th of July this week as well. We have plenty of good trades to come this month. But trade safe today, guys. And I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.